Hello, and welcome back after a long missing absence of book reviews. We had Inferno come out. That was an excellent book. I really didn't like my review that I did myself on it, so I'll just go over it quickly. Had a lot of action in it. Burnt down the Wookiee homeworld. We had Luke and Jake meeting, had a big lightsaber duel at the end, and Luke kind of wussed out, which I knew he would, and didn't kill him off. Then we got Fury. Got an excellent book here. Had lots of action again. Had a few space battles. Throughout the book, we see Luke brooding about, Ben running around trying to get him back up and running again. We've got the crew going after EternalRogue. To go find out where she's at and what she's doing. They still think she's the killer of Mara. They do hunt her down. Jag actually gets the killing blow at the end. Gets to crush and break her neck. It's kind of interesting at the end. We see Lima telling him to remember her as she was, putting memories in his thoughts of how she was before, kind and peaceful. I guess inside there was still something good left in her, even though she was kind of mental, probably from all the bugs in the past. In this book we see Jaken finally going after her to go kidnap his daughter. Goes down, kills a bunch of people, grabs her and comes back and threatens her mother, his ex-girlfriend, or however you want to call her right now, that if you don't do as they say, I'm going to kill her kid. I guess he's kind of going over the edge as well. Even though he's still got a soft spot, we see him throughout the book still loving and caring for her. And he also finally reveals to her that he's their daddy, her daddy now. And then she falls for him. But at the end of that, that kind of all falls apart on him. And we see a moment towards the end when Han and Leia rescue him. They look down at this child after a long period and they're like, this looks like someone we know. And finally Leia realizes it, and the kid looks up and says, he's my daddy, and she says, I know. We also see Jaken being kind of a dick throughout the book as well. You see Leia trying to get on board and says, son, I need to talk to you. And you see him responding, well, that's your need, not mine. I can't imagine ever saying that to my mother. He's kind of lost it. We start off the book, and all throughout the book, the Jedi are now in seclusion after turning against them at the last battle we had over on Endor. And there's pieces of the Death Star 2 all over the ground, which is kind of neat. You can almost image this huge jungle with big chunks of metal everywhere. You got some Ewoks, but you don't see anything about Wicket. They talk about his family. They said, oh, he's really far south, so either he's dead or he's coming back later. And throughout the book we see Jaina. She's constantly training, and she's trying to get herself going to have this big showdown with her brother. She's just going all out. She thinks she's trying to hone herself to the sword of the Jedi. She's still not understanding what that is, though she thinks she does. And Jag just kind of basically says, look, you think you're ready, but you're not. And has this little showdown with her with these gauntlets and armor that Boba Fett had sent that's lightsaber resistant, to show her that she wasn't ready against everything that you could possibly think of. So in the end we see Jaina, and she's kind of thinking, well, I need something trickier that Jaken hasn't done in his travels over the years, the 5 years he went missing, and ever since he's came back. So she's going to go enlist, it looks to be the help of Boba Fett, to learn how to hunt down and kill or trap Jedi. So that should be neat. I'd like to see that confrontation, hopefully in the next book, or maybe the one after that, when they finally do get to each other. I wish they hurry up and get around to Jaken revealing himself as Darth Caedus, just to tell everybody, look, I'm evil, I'm here. We see him, he's finally building his red lightsaber, though that room got kind of trashed. I'm not sure what state that's in this book. Now we do have a book coming out called Revelation shortly, in a couple books. I don't know if it's the revelation that who he is, or revelation that he killed Mara. I'd like to see which revelation they plan on going with on this. Maybe they'll do them all at once, which would make for an interesting end book. I really don't even know how they plan on ending this type of series they got going on right now. Like, they're gonna kill him. I can't see it, but what are they gonna do with him? Because he has killed so many. And the last big battle they had in this book, Jacob basically did the old force grip to the throat and killed one of his loyal officers, just to show that he doesn't like insubordination and people not doing their job very well, even though it was kind of wasn't their fault that people snuck on board the ship and kidnapped his daughter, but he didn't like to see it that way. He just wanted to take his anger out on somebody. I did have a neat little reference in there. It talked about how in the stories previous, really the movies and stuff, the Emperor never liked non-human species, and you really never seen any of them in the Empire. And this book kind of talks about how they're hard to read their minds, and he doesn't like them. So maybe that's, you know, just kind of led into the way past of why the Sith don't like non-human species, because they can't really read their minds and emotions. In this book as well, we see a big battle around Centerpoint Station. It's back again. It is working to a point. They were going to destroy a lot of stuff or put people up to say, look, do as we say or we're going to get you. We see it basically blows up and it's gone now. So I guess they want to move that out of the picture. I guess it was their version of the Death Star in this time frame, but it's just kind of like there and gone in this story. So I guess they just wanted to write it out, I guess, as a plot device. I don't know why they did something like that. They could have kept it around for fun. Well, I hope you enjoyed the review. I do hope you come back. There'll be more coming even shortly. It won't be as big as a gap this time, even though the next book's not due out till I think February 26th, which is a couple months, but I have some other stuff planned in between. Well, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas, and have a good day. Now, I just wanted to make one quick comment. I did read Outbound Flight, and I was kind of excited to see it because this was something in the past stories about this group of Jedi. They left. This was during the young Anakin Skywalker days and Ben Kenobi days. They all took off with Jorush Shabbath. Never pronounced that right anyways. And all this stuff happened because we had a later book that came out that found Outbound Flight crash landed on the planet, and there were still some survivors, and they kind of hated Jedi. So I was kind of interested to see this book, and it had a young Thrawn in it, which was nice to see. But this whole story was horrible. There was like nothing going on through the whole book. They did have some battles. It was nice to see Thrawn's take on the battle and all these neat little things he would do to outthink, which I always enjoy. But it was boring. It was so boring that the writers even had to take Anakin and Obi-Wan and put them in the beginning of the story and kind of thread them throughout it loosely just to get people to know some characters or even try and care. But it was horrible. I was barely able to get through the end of it. I just wanted to get to the end to see what they were going to do to this thing, but if you were looking at picking it up, I wouldn't. It's boring. You can probably read up just a quick review online, and that's about it. It's could have been done in the span of like 60 pages or less, but it was bad, and it shouldn't even been out, or they should at least spend some more time on it. But that's all I'll say about that.